Hello, everyone. My name is Vernice, and this is my podcast, Speak Up. Shout out to my new listeners out there. For those of you that don't know, the mission statement for this podcast is we will use our voices to motivate people to overcome life challenges through self-love and respect. This is a place for self-love and respect. I hope you guys are all having a great July so far and a great summer. I'm so excited for today's episode. I have an amazing guest, very talented, very inspiring. Y'all give it up for special guest, artist and entrepreneur Quiz. Hey,
Oh, what up? What up? Hey.
welcome to SpeakUpJV.
Appreciate it. No, thank you, man. I'm glad to be here. Glad we get to talk, chop it up. Seeing you around for a minute, seeing you around for a while. So yeah, let's tap in.
Let's get it. Let me get your welcome.
Let's study.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Quiz, like you said, rapper, entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? I've been making music for a good amount of time. For those who don't know, kind of like back in the day, like I actually used to had like my own CD duplication business where like I used to print a lot of artists out here, CDs and whatnot. And that's how I got to this point. That's how I got to like knowing so many artists or whatnot. At the same time, when I like had my own CD duplication business, I was an artist also. And I was a part of Glasses Malone, Blue Division. I was his hype man. And so I went on tour with him and did all that kind of stuff, man. Kind of like just leading up to now to like just being out here doing my own thing, creating something with some of my other boys and just keeping it moving, you know?
I love that. I'm excited to pick your brain today on a lot of your knowledge and wisdom.
For sure.
So yeah, as you mentioned, you're an artist. So we're going to go ahead and get into your artist spotlight.
Sure.
So what got you into music?
Just as a kid, like I love writing, I love literature. So like that kind of like shifted over into hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like my uncle owned a record shop and my pops worked at the record shop. My pops was super into music. And at that time, you know what I'm saying, it was going like from cassettes to CDs. And he would bring home like the maxi singles that had like instrumentals on them. And so like I started writing to like the instrumentals as a kid, and that's kind of like how it kicked off. And then like as I started like gravitating towards hip hop and liking it, hip hop for the most part is like it's an art that's based off of samples. So when there were songs that I would like and they had samples in it, then my pops would pull out the original and show me like where the sample came from, the original song. And I don't know, it was just something that stuck with me pretty much my whole life. And once I like started like articulating my thoughts and, it was a craft that like challenged me, that I continue to get better at it, just something that stuck with me my whole life to where now it is how I just articulate my thoughts to get my words out, to express my message, or, even being a little bit older, like to interpret life and could share that with my homies or younger people or whatever. So I don't know, I just, every phase of my life, I found a spot for it, and I got a spot for it right now in my life. So I just keep running.
I love that. I see you're really good with your pen too. So shout out to the lyrics. I'm like, okay. I've been seeing people walk around, with the Grateful merch. Tell us a little about your project, Grateful.
Grateful is me and my boy, the B District. We've been rocking together maybe like a little over 10 years now. I met him, around like over 10 years. I was working on this one project. The homie Salas actually brought him in, like, hey, I think you guys should work together. And after that one day, we've never stopped working together. Like, we're like, me and the B District are about like 3 projects in. That might be Grateful might be our 3rd or 4th project together. And like for the most part, he's the only producer that I've kind of like really worked with for like the past 10 years. And like the fact that like we're homeboys, we got the same vibe, the same interests. Like, we like travel together, we rock with each other's family, stuff like that. It's just like a lifestyle where it's just like, maybe we'll go to the sports bar, watch a game, or shit. Maybe we'll run out of the studio and just cook up some records. So it's just a part of like our get down and our dynamic. And Grateful itself for me was just like, I was grateful to have seen what I've seen and gone through what I've gone through as far as like in life, but still like be able to show up and be myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like life didn't water me down, or life didn't like wash me away, or like make me become someone else, or like be mad at life because things didn't always go my way. So I was grateful just for the opportunity to keep expressing myself and people being open to hear me, and you know what I'm saying, still being able to be dope and show up and like not sound dated. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, just I'm grateful because like at a certain point when I was writing and making music, I didn't have all this information. I didn't have like all the life experience. So like, you know, at some point you just kind of like mimicking the sound or like just doing whatever you feel like is hot at the moment, where now it's like, okay, I'll hear a beat, but it's like, this is what I want to talk about. If I was chopping it up with the homies, it's the type of shit that I would say anyway, so fuck it, let's run it.
Okay, and I love your rollout for it too. How you show behind the scenes, different studio sessions, like
Thank you.
all that just goes together real good, real good. So you know, also speaking of music and stuff, tell us about All In.
All In, man, that's the group. Like, this is my first group project with the homies. I'm super excited about it. We only have one single out right now, but if you go to like Naj's projects, if you go to any of my projects, there's All In records on there. Like, he's been on every project, at least for like the last 3 or 4 projects. I've been on every project of his for the last 3 or 4 projects. The Beat District produced a lot of his stuff on his projects. Obviously, him and I have been rocking together. So like, I'll say maybe like a year and a half, 2 years ago, we were just like, man, let's like on purpose make a project together. Cause like people always saw us together all the time, but like Naj would have his own stuff going on. I'd have my own stuff going on. And like, but now people, they see us as a unit. They saw us as a unit already, but now they see us making music as a unit. And it's like, I'm excited about it. Like it's fun. Like Naj is super talented. He's super dope MC. So he helps keep me sharp, you know, to be around the homies and like people that you actually like and y'all are into the same stuff, from like, you know, it's like from being fly to like, I don't know, tennis shoes to traveling, like all the different stuff that we like, the music. And so we can get together and like really make dope music at a high level and challenge each other. Like it's fun, man. It's a good time.
Oh, look, I'm excited to see what you guys pick up. So, you know, working on any brand, anything that you do, you got to be all in, right? Like,
All in,
something.
exactly.
So,
and that's how we came up with the name.
Yeah, right. So, like, what made you realize you were all in when it came to music?
I've been all in a few times, you know what I'm saying? Or at least I like to believe I have been, but like, you know, having wisdom about life, you know what that looks like more so. You know, like you can identify where like you were kind of all in, but you weren't really all in, you know what I'm saying? So like, we was like, if we gonna make a project or make projects together or stand up as like a group, we was like, hey, we can't like, ain't no pussy putting this shit, you know what I'm saying? Like we gotta go all in. And so like, yeah, I mean, just makes sense. Like, let's go all in. And I think when you hear the lyrics and you hear the beats, you hear the sounds, you hear how we show up, it's like, oh yeah, these niggas is all in.
Oh, I like that. You know, so I know you grew up listening to a lot of music. Who was your favorite lyricist growing up?
My favorite lyricist, I'll probably say like my favorite lyricist for like the longest extent of time was probably Jadakiss.
Okay.
There's a list of like my favorites of people that I really rock with, but like he was probably like my favorite for the longest.
Yeah. And speaking of lyrics and stuff, what's one of your favorite quotes you've written and why?
Favorite quote?
I know so many, but what's one that stand out?
Yeah, I have no idea. Favorite quote, man.
I like picking people up.
Yeah, I really don't know. Man, that's a good one. I don't know.
Okay, don't worry. Okay. Well, look, he like, I got so many.
I don't know. Because sometimes I go back and I listen to old projects. I'd be like, oh, I said that? Okay, all right.
And then it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I still like that answer because it shows us so many to choose from. Okay, y'all. But shout out to you guys listening out there. Tonight's episode is titled Confident, Grateful Through It. So speaking of grateful, we're gonna talk about a little bit of gratitude today, but like with a deeper twist, you know, gratitude during chapters of patience. That's kind of like the angle that we're taking on. So let's get up into the Ask Up question of the day. So those you listening out there, please comment. I always go back and read the comments. I'm going to go ahead and answer the Ask Up first, and I'll let you answer quiz. So the Ask Up question of the day is, how has a mindset of gratitude impacted your life personally? Honestly, I want to say for me personally, it has made me have a more positive mental attitude. And I say this because when I'm having moments when things ain't going as plans, or things seem rough, when I turn to gratitude, it actually instantly boosts my mood. Like, once I start, even if it gets to the simple things like having a glass of water, having a roof over my head, I instantly like kind of snap into that and say, things could always be worse, and I'm gonna work with what I got to get more. So
Yeah.
that's definitely how gratitude has shaped my life. But what about you? So how has a mindset of gratitude impacted your life personally?
Oh, for sure. I think like being an artist, or even just being a person that's like trying to pursue something,
Hmm.
I think there's always something attached to like what you want to get out of it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And if you don't get like that attachment or that idea that you had initially, if you don't get that out of it, and just living in a consumerist society, social media, it's easy to like identify who you're not, what you don't have.
Mm.
And if you're doing that, you lose sight of like who you are and what you do have. So
Hmm.
even though you may not receive what you wanted to receive, or you're not like landing or ending up in the place that you wanted to end up initially, you could be grateful for the journey. You could be grateful for like what you become, or like the tools that you have, the information that you have, how you like just for the simple fact of like finishing something that you start, or accomplishing something that like you wanted to do for yourself. Like that's in it, that in itself is enough, and that's something that you could be grateful for. So it's not necessarily about like the reward of what you want out of it, but it's about like your resilience and your perseverance to like push and follow through, because like that's actually what gives it the value. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like I may not have X amount of listeners on Spotify or followers on Instagram or yada 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 yada, but the process that I went through to make these records, the thoughts that I used to make these records, to write this stuff out, the money I spent to like become a better MC or figure out how to manufacture projects and music to present it to the people, and the things that I learned along the way, or even the people that I met along the way, relationships I built along the way. That's where the value is. The value is in the journey. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and I'm not saying there's not external value or there's not other value that like you can assess to it as far as like doing business, but that's not like the real value. That's not the substantial value.
Hmm. Okay. I like that answer. And I love how you brought up social media too. I feel like I always got to end up talking about social media on every episode because
It's a part of what, the world we live in. It's a part of what's going on. And you're
literally,
looking at the screen so much or so often, and like
mhm,
it's just one of those things. But it's like I don't know. You got to be mindful.
put your feet in your mind and everything.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like,
But you looking at somebody on the screen. You don't know what their bedroom look like. You
mhm,
don't know their living situation. You don't know their bank account situation. Like they showing you what they want you to see. You know what I
mhm,
mean? Where like
mhm,
you probably have so much more to be grateful for than the person that you're looking at. And it's not about comparison, but it is about like acknowledging who you are and what you have, and not against other people.
mhm, mhm,
Everybody got their own shit and coming from somewhere. So everybody else has something different to be grateful for. Like somebody may not have ever had their own place and they get in their first place, whether it's an apartment or whatever. They could be grateful for that if they grew up like in an unstable environment or unstable household, versus someone that's buying a house. It could be their first house they bought, and it means something to them because they had a stable household, but like their parents never owned nothing or something, and so like that meant something to them. So like
mhm.
the value is different for each person because of what each person needs at that time in their life.
Mhm. I love that. I feel like, yeah, like you were saying, like gratitude just looks different on everybody. Like we all in our own lane. So let's talk about the importance of gratitude during chapters of patience. I think that is super huge because I know we all on the grind, like you said, social media will have us thinking like we're moving too slow, or we should be somewhere else. But honestly, when you do pause and like you said, look back at how far you came, there is so much to be grateful for. Like you said, the resilience to get back up, or to even start your day, or to do the interview, whatever it is that you're working on.
Hmm.
I love that. I think that's my favorite part about gratitude is like knowing that I'm living in something that I once prayed for.
Hell yeah,
That's definitely.
100%.
Hmm. So, question: what's an important lesson that entrepreneurship has taught you?
Entrepreneurship, important lesson. Shit, it's a grind.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? There's not like necessarily a final destination. Like you're not in it to be this supreme success. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're in it because you like waking up and having a purpose, or like building at a certain level every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, falling in love with the process and with the work, versus like focusing on like the results and the return. Because if you're good at the process, if you're good at the work, you have a better shot of getting a great return.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I like the look coming from the pro itself. You guys, it is now time for the tweet up segment. So y'all know I like to be on Twitter, X, whatever they call it. But something that I tweeted this week that goes to tonight's episode is gratitude is good for your mindset during the storm. So I gotta just reiterate this again. I know it's a lot going on in the news right now, a lot of things shaking us up. But sometimes you just have to kind of get back to the simple version of gratitude and what does it mean to you. I feel like you have to have gratitude even when the path seems confusing. I think that's when you need it the most, especially when things get hard. And being grateful for the simple things, just as grateful as you are when the larger blessings come in. That's been an important lesson to me as well, allowing me to be happy with what I got. So I like that.
Oh no, that's super big. I mean, gratitude during a storm, like, personal story. There was a point I was probably like, maybe like 34 or 33 or something like that. And like at that time, you think like your life should be like balancing itself out, or like you should be established at a certain level. And at that point, like I failed like completely. Like, I didn't have a job, I didn't have a car, like my car just went out, you know what I'm saying? And so like I had to put my pieces back together, and you thinking like, my mindset at that time is like, man, I'm 33, 34 years old, like I should be established, I should be married already, I should X, Y, and Z, and here I am, like, don't even have a car or a job, But I didn't have like a car for like 3 or 4 years, and like I was riding my bike to the train and taking the train from Long Beach to downtown LA for like 3-4 years straight. But like I was just grateful that I had a way to go make some money. You know what I'm saying? Like I was grateful that I could like identify ways or pieces to connect the dots to like put my life back together. And I mean, that's really all that mattered. You know what I'm saying? And that was like my journey. It's just, it's one day at a time, one step at a time. But like, it's a process. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not saying miracles don't happen, but most of life is like just making decisions one day at a time that get you a little bit closer to like where you're trying to go. And you got to be patient while that shit is happening. And like, if it doesn't happen, or you fall, or shit happens, or whatever, or like a mistake is made, or you take a big hit or a big blow or a big mistake, a lot of times that's a decision that you made that put yourself in that position. And so then it brings value to like the small daily decisions to get you closer, because you never want to be in that place again.
I appreciate your transparency. Thank you for sharing that on here. I know like somebody needed to hear that. I needed to hear that.
I really don't like, I don't know because, but I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, like you can only be smart if you go through shit. You can only like understand how not to make mistakes by like making mistakes, or like trial and error, or like, put into perspective how the world works. So like you can value your shit and protect it and take care of it and move a certain way. Like you lose something that you probably take for granted, once you get it back, you're more mindful of like not positioning yourself not to lose that shit again. Or so I really don't care. Like I am the way that I am because of the shit that I've gone through. You know what I'm saying? I can show up the way that I show up because of like the shit that I've like, the way that I've worked to like put those pieces together and connect those dots. But it's like, it's not like I'm just that great or I'm just that good. Like I had to get smart by doing stupid shit. Like that's it.
I think we all.
You know what I'm saying? There's no way around it. I got smart by doing stupid shit.
Right. Likewise.
That's just life,
And I love your story too, because you use what you got to get what you want. And I think that's sometimes what we have to have when we feel like we're lacking, but really not when we put the pieces together and use what we have to make more. So I like that.
If you don't like have, how could I say this? If you don't have like high end or high quality resources, right? You can always have high end and high quality thoughts. You can always have high end and high quality ideas. So it's like, you know, you may not have like the gear or the equipment, but if you got like the patience, the resilience, it can come out, or you can find a way or figure out a way to make it to come out to make it look like you have high-end gear or high-end equipment, or even you have like a team. You know what I'm saying? You're just putting the high-end, you're just putting the high-end in another place so it can reflect in a high-end way the way you want it to.
I like putting it all together.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, you're on here dropping gems today.
I'm gonna pass around a collection plate around this thing.
Yeah,
you
no,
know?
you doing it. You dropping them today. Look, the queen is. Hope y'all out there listening, because I'm like, you started my week. Okay.
Nah, for real.
But you guys, it is now time for the Life Up segment. So the Life Up is when I take the topic and I relate it to a problem in today's world. So tonight's Life Up is forgetting to have gratitude when things are going well, taking current blessings for granted, which you just touched up on, and then allowing what you don't have to steal your current joy. These are huge ones. Like, I think we just kind of brushed up on it, but like we were saying with the whole social media and things like that. And then, like you said, losing something that was actually valuable in your life, and then, you know, scared to lose it again when you actually get blessed with it again. These are just, I don't know, these are just big topics, and I feel like they're real issues. Any thoughts on any of those topics for the Life Up?
Not necessarily, but I would say for like run it back again as far as like gratitude through the storm, right?
Yeah.
It was something that you said. Go, keep going.
Oh, I'm sorry. So taking current blessings for granted, forgetting to have gratitude when things are going well, and not focus on the blessings in front of you.
Got you. Okay, the things you don't have. That's what I was. All right.
Here we go.
So like with the things that you don't have, it's like there's just a fine line in the balance where like you can use things you don't have as like motivation. You know what I'm saying? Like motivation or inspiration, not necessarily that like you're deficient or inefficient because you don't have them, or you're less than because you don't have them. But like, you know, it could be just like something that you want to get to, and it's like how you position your relationship with that. Because even right now in this moment, and everyone right now in this moment, this is your time and your energy. And so like we're all deciding on a moment by moment basis the experience of our life. Yeah. And do you want the bulk of your experience of your life to be like enjoyable? You like who you are, you like what you got going on, you like the things around you, like you enjoy your life and you having a good time? Or do you want the bulk of your experiences to be focused on what you don't have? Which is a different type of experience. But it's all calculating, it's all adding up. So like at the end of the day, when you look back, your perception of life could, because of like the moment, how you chose to handle those moments, your perception could be like, oh man, I never had this. Oh man, I never did that. Or oh, this cost too much. Or oh, I couldn't get this because I didn't have that. Or when you look back, your experience could be, man, I had a great time doing this. Man, I talked to my brother today. Like, yo, like I'm glad I got to hang out with my family. Like there's so many things that you can be like joyful of and enjoy an experience that you do have, versus like harboring on the stuff that you don't have.
Okay, look, we're the collection box for real.
You're in the middle of it right now. Like you're in the thick of it right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's not like you're gonna run it back, or like what you gonna do? You gonna wait till it arrives to like be happy? And that shit, like, what if that shit never arrives?
You're just gonna be miserable the rest of your life.
You spent all that time, like, you know what I'm saying, where you could have just been enjoying yourself and hoping that it came one day, or like if it comes, cool. If it doesn't, cool. Like I still want to enjoy this thing. Like I'm living. I'm in the midst of it.
Look, that's a big one. I feel like that's a word that needs to be heard today. Thank you for that. And, you know, I always say, how do we fix this? So you just gave some good examples. Some examples I want to give is avoid greed and value the blessings that you currently have. And then I feel like that brings more when you do value what you already got. So that's a good one. Absolutely. So back to music a little bit. So what's a piece of advice you would give to an artist who is looking to strengthen their quality of lyrics?
Strengthen the quality of lyrics. Listen to the greats, find your voice and sit with your beats. That's it.
Well said. I like that. Look, I'm taking notes on that too. Look, I'm gonna drop my mixtape too.
With beats, like for sure, when it comes to like sitting with beats or recording, I know we in a time where like, you know, everybody be like, oh, no paper, one take, Jake, 15 minutes, I wrote this verse. There's nothing wrong with sitting with a beat for a day and like crafting those words, each word piece by piece. There's nothing wrong with that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You'll be surprised at like what you'll come up with or what ideas that come to your head or like the different pockets or transitions that you'll find that actually work better or flow better or more impactful or like display your skill at a higher level than just like running through something. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong, like knocking something out in 15 minutes can be effective, and it depends on like the song and the vibe and like what you're going for, and it can be effective. But if you want to like, if you're opting into like lyricism or like you're opting into like telling a certain type of story or going in depth a certain way, mm-hmm. It's gonna take thought. You know what I'm saying? It's like writing a book. You know what I'm saying? Like people revise books. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll write a book, run through it, look at the chapters, revise it, like find different transitions, add in examples. Like, okay, could probably read the whole thing and be like, I don't think the reader is going to get this part of what I want them to get, and figure out a way to like implement it, to add, to put more value into the book. Like, you know, there's people out there that do music and songs like that, where if the people that you're talking to are the people that enjoy that, and then like that's what you're into and that's what you want to do, it's all right to like put that type of like thought and time and quality into something.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Listen to the greats, find your voice, sit with your beats.
It's funny when you were saying all that. I just think about if I'm turning in a paper in high school and they just mark it up all crazy, that rough draft, right, and you redo it.
100%. You could treat your own work like that, and like mm-hmm. no one will know how wrong you got it, because all you're gonna do is deliver to the world the right product.
The right product. I like that. It's nothing wrong with taking our time. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Big one. Okay. It is now time, y'all, for the drink up segment. So if you're out there listening, please drink some water. Mm-hmm. And I got a drink up water fact for today. So today's drink up water fact is, not only does drinking water keep your disc and spine healthy, it also helps to maintain proper spinal alignment, reducing the risk of injury, according to Texas Spine Sports Therapy Center. So y'all, it's summertime, it's hot. I know y'all outside at the pool parties. Please stay hydrated. Keep that back healthy.
At the pool parties, I know y'all out there in the heat drinking that alcohol.
Some water, okay?
Need some water. Get some water in the mix of that, you know? Don't pass out.
Don't pass out, especially if you're out there dancing. You want that back to be right. So drink your water.
That's funny.
I love it, right? Now back to the episode. So this is an interesting question I have. What artists would you like to see rocking the Grateful merch in a music video? So if it was
Grateful merch in a video?
Yeah, did you just see
right now? Probably. All right. Just on like my own, I can't see them rocking it necessarily because it's like not their style. Mm-hmm. But like I'm a huge fan of Alex Isley, so I would love to see her rocking it. But from a style perspective, I would say probably like, I don't know, maybe like a Tyler the Creator.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. Yes.
I think that'll be dope.
Okay, we're gonna manifest that. Okay.
Yeah.
Look, make sure y'all tap in with his merch.
Oh yeah.
Shout it out.
Quizisdope.com. You know what I'm saying? The Grateful merch is there. We got hats, we got tees, some fresh stuff. You know what I'm saying? You can mix in with your J's, your tennis shoes, your camos. Like, you know, put it together, make it a look.
Okay, look, and the logo fly too. Just gotta throw that out there.
Appreciate it.
It is now time for the show up segment. So this is the show up segment. If you're out there listening, please answer. I'm going to answer first. I'll let you answer, quiz. So how did I show up for myself this week? You know, I actually had like a little isolation period. And then over the weekend, I was like, you know what? I'm going to step out and just feel good. So I went to a little outdoor party, and it just felt good just to get out the house, be around some good vibes, and just enjoy myself. Because like you were saying, you got to be happy through it too. It's okay to enjoy yourself. And just to enjoy, you know what I mean? Like be grateful for what is around you, the good company, the friends, and all that. So that was the way I showed up for myself this week. But how did you show up for yourself this week?
How did I show up for myself this week? Oh man, so yeah. All in, we have our next single coming out in the beginning of August. So we got the artwork together, the DJ packs together. Like I got all that stuff together to get out to the distributors. So like I was proud of that. Like I showed up for myself that week because I like that song a lot. It's a vibe, and yeah, I'm ready for it.
Okay, look, coming soon, y'all. So, speaking of, because, I was saying how you did a really good rollout with Grateful. So, what's a piece of networking advice you would give to an artist who would like to market/advertise their project effectively?
Networking advice, I would say, like, for sure, don't just show up asking for stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, show up giving something, show up bringing value. And that value could be simple, like, if somebody has an event or something going on and you just show up to support, buy a ticket, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody got some merch and it's somebody that you want to network with or meet, purchase the merch. Like you'll be able to meet that person or, you know what I'm saying? Like provide value to something first before like you position yourself to gain. After that, just being a solid person where like you don't show up needing something. You show up just because like you want to be here, or you trying to connect, or you just be in the mix. You know what I'm saying? Like show up as like just a cool person. Because like 8 times out of 10, like I mean, when you have like a skill or like you have like you can bring value of like something that you do, people will know about it. But there's no shortage of rappers. You know what I'm saying? There's no shortage of podcast hosts. But people rock with you because they like you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you could rock with any rapper, or like there's rappers that are like better than each other in the whole nine. But if somebody has a personal relationship with you, they like you, they're cool with you, like you're always personable, you give them support, you show love, then like it's a relationship versus just like I'm a rock with you because you're a rapper. Like you're probably more impressed with yourself than people are impressed with you. That's crazy, that's the truth.
Okay, and I love that. I'm big on the whole genuine relationships angle that you mentioned. So I love to ask all my guests a fun question. So your fun question is there a rappers whose voice or flow that you can impersonate?
I can impersonate? Dang, that's crazy.
Voice or flow, yeah. I'm so curious. That's what we get in today.
Yeah. That's my Rick Ross right there.
I'll take it. I'm not even mad. I'll take it. Good one. I had to shake you up with that question. Okay. Woo, that was good. All right, hope y'all tuning in. You can do a good Rick Ross impersonation. Ooh, it is now time for the wrap-up segment. So this is the wrap-up segment. How does this relate to self-love? Self-love is loving yourself enough to see gratitude in every direction that you take. Gratitude is good for your mindset and it's just good for you as a whole. So how do you practice self-love?
I mean, I like having slow mornings. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, getting my thoughts together, journaling, just like, taking it in, appreciating the fact that I woke up, I'm alive. Another self-love is like, I like to work out a lot. So just working out, being able to jog, being able to do weights. What else? I'm somewhat into like streetwear and fashion and clothes and all that stuff. So I do like putting my stuff together and showing up and looking a certain way. And then like, I would say the biggest one is like trying to keep my brain sharp. So, like, I think reading is like one of the biggest things that you could do for self-love. Cause like, my theory is like when people have a consistent relationship with like words and literature, then like it's easier for you to pull the words to articulate your thoughts and your moods, and like you have to be able to articulate that outside of your head so you can tell someone else what you're thinking and where you're coming from, because like you're responsible for what's in your head. So and also that like helps in telling people how to treat you, or even telling yourself how to treat yourself, how you want to show up. So reading is probably like one of the biggest self-love things that I do.
I love that. Look, I'm staring at the books I need to finish right now as we speak. I like that. Good reminder. And a final question, I like to ask all my guests this question. What do you want to be remembered for?
What I want to be remembered as like somebody that lived life on his terms and like showed up for people and showed love the whole entire way. You know what I'm saying? Like if I was up, then like you knew I was up and I showed up. If I was down, even if you knew I was down, I still showed up and I still tried to like still find a way to like be myself and accommodate myself. Cause it's like, you know, we all gotta do what we gotta do to take care of ourselves. And a lot of times that's not necessarily like what we want to do or who we want to be. You know what I'm saying? But you can still show up in a way like who you need to be. Like you're doing that so you can be you. So what does that look like? Like once you get the money from your job, what does being you look like? So where do you want to put your resources? Where do you want to put your free time? Where do you want to put your energy? And that's you know, and that's an example in itself. So it's like, yeah, like, and even showing up for yourself, having a job and investing in what you're doing and taking good care of yourself is living on the terms, because we all gotta do what we gotta do to take care of ourselves. So yeah.
Okay, I love that beautiful answer. And remember, y'all, include gratitude in your daily routine, and being grateful is the reminder that you need. So
Make sure you go check out the album Grateful, all platforms. Yeah, Quiz in the Beat District, and tap in with All In. We doing our thing. But no, appreciate it, Vanessa. Thank you.
No, definitely. And shout the rest of your information. Shout your Instagram out, all that, where people find you, follow you.
Instagram is @QuizIsDope. If you go to @QuizIsDope on IG, you'll find all the other stuff. The website is quizisdope.com. Gratitude is like a real thing. Being grateful is a real thing. Life is gonna come at you. It's gonna come at you fast sometimes. It's gonna come at you slow sometimes. But if you can give yourself like the tools that you need to navigate it, and those aren't external, those are internal. So you give yourself internal tools to like navigate and keep pushing forward no matter what's happening. Like you always gonna be all right. You always gonna come out on top. You know, life isn't happening against you, it's happening for you.
That was a word right there. I appreciate you coming on, Quiz, and just dropping all these nuggets. I'm grateful for this conversation and for having you on here. Thank you again. I wish you the best on everything that you're working on, and you know I'm gonna run into you. Shout out to my listeners out there. Thank y'all for tapping into another episode of SpeakUpJV. I will be back next week with another dope episode. Make sure y'all follow SpeakUpJV at SpeakUpJV. My Instagram is @Vernisa, and it's available on everything. Love y'all. Have a great week.
Gang, gang.